flowers that I hydrated here, I rehydrated them again just a tiny bit to see if I can add tiny flexibility to them so they're not so sticky appy, but yet not hydrate them so much that they lose their shape like this. Okay, we're starting as usual with tip prep and base coat. Any base coat that you have in possession will work. Now we're applying milky pink jelly, coat number 2, lumen gel. Okay, so I kind of want to point brush down so the gel pools at the bottom. I'm recreating this nail. Let the drop come down and drag. Let the drop come down and drag. Wait until it pools just the way you want it. I like how it's not pulling enough here, so I'm gonna add a little bit more, make the dot a bit heavier. Very important to make a click sound. It helps you with the brush stroke. Flash cure. Now we're doing the opposite hand, so we're doing the opposite swirl. Okay, wait for that drop to go. And remember the click sound. See, this one I didn't click good enough. It didn't help, I don't think. Drop and click. Okay, now wait, see, it's a better click, better, what's it called? Coma, I guess. Okay, wait for it to bloom. Add some more. Ooh. Okay. Flash cure onto the thumb now. I already have my blooming gel on, and this one's gonna go 2 clicks for each color. I'm just kidding, right? You guys know that. So long and the short one. Do a long one longer. Okay. And add the short one. Now we'll go to pink and do the opposite. Do one long and one short. Flash cure. Add another coat of pinky white. I guess it's milky white with a suggestion of pink. That's how I would describe this color. So I want to add another layer of diffusion. And that also adding that pink on top adds a bit of yellow into the edges of green. So I'm really loving that. Cook it. Here is the set. Base color. Now on to the flowers. So I have rehydrated these dry flowers. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure I want to do that again. I read somewhere in my research and it says to rehydrate them, but I feel like there's a middle ground in between rehydrate. So these ones, how are they originally come flat, and these guys got rehydrated. I think I left them way too long because they lost a lot of their shape, which I don't mind. Because also what happened is a bit of a color got lost. If you can see how much more yellow come through. You can't see it, but more yellow come through. So we're going to do the experiment. We're going to do regular base coat. And that's, I'm going to put these guys into a regular base coat. Is it too much? Okay, so I'm finding it's too much, these big clumps, for the size of the nail. So I'm gonna chop them off. Okay, so I feel like that's enough. I'm gonna dab a little bit more of a base gel here. So base gel, maybe not that great. It's not enough to hold them down. I'm happy with this placement. So it's gonna go in a lamp. I had to fight with it a little bit off camera. So on the thumb, instead of fighting with thin base coat, I'm gonna go straight to a thick top coat. Crazy Top, our favorite product everywhere in press on nail world of YouTube. Sweetie Nail Supplies is where I got mine from. Not sponsored. I'm a tiny baby YouTuber. I don't get sponsored yet. It's manifest. This one, I'm gonna go which way? Oh, I kind of like this crazy one, and it didn't get. This one didn't get soaked. So let's see how well that's gonna go. Yes, I like it. I like it. Press, 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 press. Much better. Okay, okay, my lovely people. Forget all of the battles with a stupid base coat. Don't waste your time and your precious energy on fighting with a thin, runny thing. If you don't have a top coat, Build-A-Gel is your friend, my friend. Build-A-Gel is what I would use if I didn't have my lovely crazy top over here. Yeah, so these flowers sitting into the crazy top so much better than into the base coat. So here is the lesson we've learned today as a nail community. Dried flowers that are not rehydrated get set into the Build-A-Gel or crazy thick top coat, a crazy consistency. Rubber base will work also, and you don't have to rehydrate them. Rehydrating them kinda makes them lose shape, and non-rehydrated is easier to work with if you set in them. It's just easier to work with, period. And setting it into a thick base is much easier than thin base. Cook it. All right, and here it is all placed, and everybody is gonna get nice thick encapsulation. Okay, flip it upside down to let gravity pull everything to the middle of a nail. I do wipe the layer of the gel after Gin B top coat. I find it still has a slight, it's a non-wipe, but it is wipe. You still have to wipe. There's still a little micro layer, and so I can feel a bit of a texture. I am filing just the ones that have really sharp points, and it's just going to be catching on everything and scratching your skin. So we don't want that. So we're just gonna file those and thin out the sides a little bit. Now filing is finished, and I'm gonna top coat everything again with this guy. It's the cheapest top coat you can find on the market, I swear, but it's so awesome. I love it so much. It's very shiny, but the reason that I love it, it's really thin. It doesn't matter how minus cold it is in your house. It stays thin all the time, and that's how I finish most of my sets, especially if I am looking for a high shine or I need a top coat that's super thin, that's not adding any extra bulk. And in this set, I want both. No extra bulk and super shine. Bonus part, keep on working on this set because I just want to add more nails to my set, more sizes to my set, I am thinking, oh, instead of using gin bead top, I kind of wanted to experiment with keeping flexibility to my nails. So I was wondering what if I use rubber gel for encapsulating? So rubber gel is a little bit thinner than a thick gin bead top coat, but it is thicker than a base coat. So I'm just adding a little extra dollop on here. Also, the flowers that I hydrated here, I rehydrated them again just a tiny bit to see if I can add tiny flexibility to them so they're not so sticky uppy, but yet not hydrate them so much that they lose their shape like this one did. But I'm still going to use it. So I like that technique quite a lot because the flowers have become just slightly so more pliable and easy to work with. Rubber gel seem to be doing a little bit better than both. Gin B is a little too thick and the base is just regular base coat is too thin. With this one, I really love what it's doing. So I'm going to let it pool a little bit and then I'm going to flash cure it. Okay, so I'm flash curing it as I'm holding the flowers down. No, sorry, I'm slightly off camera. Okay, so cook full time now. I also improved my filing technique. So I noticed some sides of my nails were getting too thick. So I'm making sure that I'm filing the sides of the tip down. So it's nice and flush. I'm also correcting a bit of a point itself. So it's not so bulky, just like you would do on a regular nail as you were doing finish and shaping and at the critical area. So now I'm going to add a second coat to encapsulate again of a rubber gel. And I kind of don't need, because the sides got too big and I don't need the sides getting too fat and the tip getting too bulky. I'm just going to do the encapsulating style application here. Let it self-level a little bit. And then I'm going to flip it upside down again for full. See, the side's already looking better if you don't encapsulate it going all the way to the side. So there will be less filing involved. So it's encapsulated well enough. I'm going to flip it upside down, let it sit 20 seconds, I would say. So you can see how well it's all pulled to the top. There's almost no sticky apples to file. The sides are nice and thin. So I'm much happier with actually rubber gel. Builder gel was also too thick. So that's how I'm going to be encapsulating my flowers, my dry flowers going forward, is with rubber gel, because that was the best consistency. So cook it now. This one is filed and I filed the sides, but you can see there's a big gollop that I can't file it down anymore. So this nail was still done with Gin B thick top. So now I'm gonna add a final top coat to it, and I'm going to go to the sides. But what I'm also gonna do is the turning nail over actually is a great technique that is highly used in structuring the nails. So I'm going to add a little extra top coat here. Make sure everything gets evened out. See how my light reflects? It's not too bad. It's gotten a little bit straighter, so we got better. Now I'm going to flip it upside down again, 10-20 seconds, and into the lamp. Okay, there's this one with the rubber gel. You can see how well it got encapsulated with a rubber gel without building extra bulk the way the Gin B did. And rehydrating the flowers not by soaking in the water, but just like having them sponged on a wet sponge. Also soften them enough without losing form. So that's a good technique. And now I'm going to wipe the inhibition layer because it is a rubber gel, and have a tiny bit of finishing filing on the sides and on the sticky bits, and do the same technique of applying top coat. Alright, here's finished filing, rubber gel based encapsulation nail. Okay, so here we go. Light. See, like this one got so good that you don't even have to pull very much on this nail at all. You don't even need to add an extra gollop. So I'm very happy with this. Oh yeah, rubber gel it is. There's a little here in here. Upside down, 10 seconds. Inhibition layer. Of course, it's no wipe, but I still wipe just in case there's a slight gel residue. I am quite allergic to a lot of stuff, so I have to be extra careful. And here is the side-by-side Gin B versus rubber gel. And though this is Gin B improved encapsulation than my first couple, you can see how much flatter the rubber gel is for the same style encapsulation. Here it is from the top tip. So rubber gel is superior for dried flower encapsulation. Also, you can see the really bad nail right here. This guy over here is really wobbly, and though it wouldn't bother me, and so is this one, and though it wouldn't bother me in my personal set because I kind of like a little quirky finishes like that, if you are making this for sale, it might bother your clients because they might perceive it as unprofessional finish, right? So I would want to improve this nail to look more like this. And now we for reals finish. So again, enjoy finished pictures. Thanks for watching, and we've learned something today. Make time for your tiny joys. Toodles!